Why, hello, Internet. All you beautiful people out there. I hope you're having a wonderful night. I am Todd. I'm also super, super excited. I'm getting over a cold, so apologies for the sniffly sound. But it's been a while. It has been a while, and I'm excited to be back. We're going to be doing some Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Um, and it's been months and months since I've been playing, and I super missed all the wonderful people at this table, virtual table. I'm super excited to also be back at the table with some new people and some people with some new characters as well. So without further ado, I'm going to jump over to that, and we got a couple of announcements and introductions, and don't worry, we're going to recap. It's the same campaign, sort of, called Strange Acquaintances, but we are back and continuing, but with some new faces. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump over to, I think this is the button. Hi, everybody!
Season 2, baby!
Woo!
Are we season 2? Did I miss season 2? Is this season 4?
I don't even know anymore.
It's season 2. It's
season 2 of Strange Acquaintances. Yeah.
Nice.
So let's say hey. It's going to be a bit of an introductory thing, and we got people who were characters last time. We also had everybody playing 2 sets of characters because split the party. Yeah, it was just.
No, we had the Strange Acquaintances, and then the other guys were the even stranger acquaintances.
That's true. And apparently this is a thing. This with morally ambiguous, we also had the ambiguously moral. That was our way back campaign where I got to hang out with all these people. For those who've never listened, we have a podcast. You can listen to the previous campaigns. But anyway, so I'm Todd. I'm the DM, and I'll also be playing in other games that we stream out here as well. But let's meet everybody around the table. Hey, oh, that's nobody. Hey, Steve.
Hi. So apparently I'm playing Gex Techford again, which is cool. I'm excited. We were talking before this whole thing came back together finally about how all of my characters ever, I make them in like 3 minutes and then they just become who they are through role playing. So I'm kind of excited to see who he turns into in the end. So far it's been fun kind of developing him. So I also will occasionally be GMing some Shadowrun stuff when we get into that. Getting back to that as a campaign. We did something that ended up being a 4 episode in the summer. Should have been a 1-shot. Was totally a big fat mess, but we had fun.
It was good time.
Looking forward to getting back to a more organized, planned out Shadowrun campaign too. But excited for that and excited for this. So yeah.
So just a reminder, get out your D6s if you're joining us for Shadowrun. It's a good time if you've never played before. It is bonkers. Right. Just bonkers.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing like rolling 36 dice at once.
Now, today we're jumping back to the Strange Acquaintances island crew. The crew that went off to the island to take a message. We'll do a quick recap, but do you want to mention who you play in that there, Steve? In that there,
yeah.
Steve.
Yeah. On the island, yeah, that's Gex Techford. He is he's a Goliath rogue. Initially sort of thinks of himself as the world's largest cat burglar. But he's kind of evolving, a little bit into just a grand adventurer. Has formed quite a bond with the others in the party, and somehow even feels like he's formed somewhat of a bond with the actual Rook, who just hasn't been there. It's like that long distance girlfriend who is off, who knows where.
Well, let's just hope this isn't Dumpsgiving, because speaking of, we're going to take it over to Gordon next. Hey, Gordon. Welcome back to the
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome back.
Yeah, good to be back. So, I guess I'm making a new character.
I'm sorry. All you want to do is play Rook.
Well, yeah.
And you're just like, What the?
Yeah. So last season I played an interesting character named Boslow, who met an untimely end with the dragon crew.
It was a pretty
at the very end.
timely end, actually. Gotta say, that was pretty clutch.
Yeah, maybe timely. Yes. Cough. They cheated, and his villainous days are done. And now I'm making a new character. Actually, I shouldn't say it's a new character. It's a character that was in the session 0 of season 1,
That
who's
goes
making
way
a comeback. And so I'll be playing Talithar, a paladin, who in the beginning was on his way to Tazbarel with his buddy wizard Torrig, when they were attacked by cultists that belonged to the Inquisition. I think he tortured one of them a little bit for information, and then that person promptly died, and they continued on their way.
Well, nothing a little bit of torture from your friendly neighborhood paladin. And how do you spell Talithar? Is it just the way it sounds?
Pretty much Tal apostrophe Athar.
Oh, the apostrophes has to be in there.
Oh, apostrophe with elves and half elves. Yeah.
Oh, right. And he's a half elf, right?
He's a half elf.
Half elf. I gotta write this stuff down. And
And
I had to
he's
ask.
squarely on the side of the mages.
Ah, yes, absolutely. So yes, because there are different factions in this. Just a quick question for you as well, though. It's a very important one. Are you the hyphen half elf or the straight to it half elf or the 2-word half elf? This is the important distinction for D&D.
Oh boy, what's the difference again?
A lot will ride
I think
on
it's.
it. Half
I think it's like just half
dash elf
base. Yeah, dash elf
or just space. I don't know.
or
I should
space.
do a
Space
poll.
works too.
Okay, you're gonna be a space guy. I'll change that.
I'm a space.
in a few minutes.
All right.
Yeah, these are the important questions. Here, you know what? It's so important. I'm gonna actually stop the stream. And no, I'm kidding. All right. So thank you, and we'll be looking forward to seeing Talithar again, and very much to see you and Rook. But we'll talk about Rook later. All right. Ooh, very excitement. I love how like your dog is our hype man. It's just like bumping it up.
Can you hear him?
A little bit. It's
Oh,
all good.
shit.
No, it's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. So, speaking of hype man, let's jump up here. Let's jump up here to Bella.
Okay, so apparently my thing doesn't work.
It is odd. I saw that. I looked over and I was like, it's up. It should be muted. Yeah, so I guess
It
that
should be, but
died.
it's not. It's obviously not working. So I totally apologize.
No worries.
I hope I didn't say anything inappropriate or do
You didn't.
like.
You didn't.
I never know. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be resuming Isolde Connolly, who is my half elf with a hyphen
Half elf hyphen.
blood hunter.
All right.
Also without a hyphen.
Blood hunters all one.
Blood hunter.
Okay.
Space.
Okay. I'll
So
add
you
the
got
space.
Space elf and a hyphen elf. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are two different branches. They're variants. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
And you were part of this last campaign, and Isolde got pulled in to this quest that Gex and Hilda and Tillman and who they thought was Rook had been sent off to send a message to these dragons out on the islands that are controlled by these dragon cultists. And
I
it got
resemble
kinda
that
complicated.
remark from Gordon earlier about us cheating. That would
A little bit.
no. No.
Oh,
We are upstanding folks.
You
I would
could
never
catch the
swindle
playback.
anybody.
Cut to the playback. No, but I don't think Tillman was supposed to bisect. Anyway, that's another day.
I do recall that was supposed to be a one-on-one duel, and the dragon was not pleased about certain people interfering.
To be
in it.
fair, it did breath weapon all of you after that because it was unpleased.
So it was calculated.
Gex,
It was-
you
it was just-
still have to put lotion on your backside on the regular because of all the acid burns. I'm just saying.
No.
Potato,
no.
potato.
Gex dodged like a super dodger
Yeah, but your clothes didn't.
away from it.
All right. So,
So is
He's
that
wearing
why I have-
actual straps now? It's fine.
Is
so
that
it was-
why I have damage on my character? Because I couldn't remember
Probably.
why she was down 12
you would have been healed
hit
by
points.
now. Actually,
Okay.
one of the things is that so there's this big throwdown. Voslo, the doppelganger, was revealed. Thank you so much, Gordon, for playing that so well. Not letting on. I let him know like halfway through the campaign, and nobody else knew. And then slowly people figured it out. But yes. So Isolde was brought on board, and she was basically like a sailor / pirate, along with the ride. And Tillman's girlfriend, I forget her name. She was on the ex-girlfriend, something. It's complicated. Tillman is played by Carl, who unfortunately can't be here, but he might jump in later on. So yeah, that is part of it too. Okay, do you feel like somebody's like rambling and trying to sum up? So there's a guy Frodo, and I should mention the ring, and then no, anyway, Gimli.
Yeah.
Anyway. This is amazing. This is perfect. I'm reading my note right now. Don't up. And win. Okay, so I'll just wait till he's finished his drink there. But Darcy, welcome back to the stream. I'm glad you could join us. Unfortunately, I think it was.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Mhm.
I have not had the scheduling ability to join SideQuest Live, this illustrious crew, and I'm very excited to be here. As we are moving into season 2, I think it is proper to do the customary "Hello, everyone. Pronouns are they them now." I think I have played with you since then, but like I didn't make a big deal about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm Darcy. You can find me at twitch.tv/DarcyBits. And I'm doing watching a lot more streaming now than I was before. And I never know how to describe them. They're weird, but they're kind of taking off on YouTube, and I'm very excited about it.
That's
so
great.
I've been doing a lot of work on it. Yeah, like legit. I'm like getting average of like 200 plus views on YouTube these days, and that is
Fantastic.
a lot for no one. you know that's a lot. It's hard when you're not crit roll or whoever. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Um,
At this point, I'm just talking to the wall most of the time. But
So yeah, no, that's been taking off. It's been weird custom magic, like Magic the Gathering content. It's been
Very
it's been
cool.
really good. So
see, I was just
Very
labeled
excited
it
about
now
that.
variety stream. I can do
don't-
anything.
It's like I do one thing now.
Wow. Well,
I was like-
I should know this. I was
mean,
trying to catch up on some of your
it's
stuff.
that thing, right? It's the like I'm gonna do variety stream stuff until something works. Then I'm just gonna beat that horse till it's dead. like
See, I just
Yeah,
do that, but then I
yeah.
just play what I want. I play what I want.
I'm basically doing 3 streams a week, where 2 of them are this magic content, and then 1 other is variety. So I still like have a day where I just like do whatever I feel like.
Absolutely. So
But it's good.
you were in campaign when we went to hell, aka COVID times.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
that's when we met here through I don't even remember how that. Oh no, we met through live game, and I'd love, by the way, to get
We
back
did.
to a live around a table game at some point. But we got to figure out a way to get guys like Steve on there. We'll just have an iPad, right? We can do that. It'll be hybrid.
Yeah.
So, who are you joining us with today?
I will be joining with the new character. As we mentioned before the show, I have been on previous episodes, but like it was always just like, oh, I can make it this one day, so I just show up with somebody new, and they would be gone by the end of the episode. And like Wise, I think this should work for me if we keep on this day slot. So I'm excited to make that happen. I will be playing Empty, who is a monk, and I'm gonna see how well I can play them as just kind of like, yeah, they're a monk, you know. They don't need to like
Just
know martial arts to be a monk, right? Right? They're just a monk.
And
No, I'm actually playing a monk using the Tasha's class, subclass, the Way of the Astral Self. So they're probably not going to be throwing punches, but people are still going to be getting slapped.
nice. I'll punch your soul.
Punch your soul with
Punch.
my soul.
Punch you right in the. What I said, soul.
Yeah.
Wait,
Which I guess if I think about it is reminiscent of that Shadowrun character I played a while ago, which I super enjoyed. That one was so much fun.
I did a YouTube short of that. The
Yeah.
soul punch with the high five in the middle. That was a real moment. Thank
It
you,
was good times. Good times.
Stephen Darcy. You could reenact it right now on my screen. You're above each other and below each other. Yeah, there you go.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go. Ow. Okay.
wait, your mic cut out when you said the character's full name is Empty. Empty what?
Empty wisdom.
Wisdom.
Nice. So we'll look forward to meeting.
I believe
Empty-
in Roll20 I have it written as Empty Wisdom of the Green Hope Hermitage, but I needed to write that down somewhere so I didn't forget.
There's the long
I don't
name.
think they're going to introduce themselves that way.
And I believe this is character number 13. No?
13.
Not 13.
No, I don't think so, but you know.
Anyway, we have a bet.
Whatever.
going.
It's season 2. It doesn't matter. It's basically a new campaign.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of new campaign and new characters and new players, thanks so much for joining this, taking the leap of faith and meeting a bunch of total strangers. Well, not total strangers, but a bunch of us online. Brandon, welcome to the stream. Welcome to SideQuest Live. I'll make you sign a waiver later.
Hola. It's nice to be here, and I'm ready for this trial by fire. Let's see what happens.
Hey, that's how I feel every day. I want that on a t-shirt. That's a trial by fire. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's amazing. So welcome to the stream. And tell us something about yourself. Or about your character, or both.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a captioner, closed captioner / comedian. Whichever one pays more goes at the front. And I will be playing a half-elf wizard, divination wizard named Eli. Just an excited kid ready to make a name for himself.
Nice.
And we'll see how that goes.
And also, I want to say thank you for thank you for playing a divination wizard, because it makes my job so much easier. I'm just like, what? You just knew to be there. You were just like, wake up, I have to be at this spot. Hey, look at these random people. So that's your entire introduction, as your characters. All right, thanks so much. All right,
No problem.
So, I just have one more thing I want to talk to the internet. Just come here for a second, internet. Hi, internet. I just want to point something out, that you are part of this story too. You get to make this story along with us. You also get to make the lives of these characters and/or players difficult, or save their bacon. And I'm not going to ask you for bits or whatever. If you like what you see, please do hit the follow and realize that we love the support. But if you're here live on Twitch Tuesdays 9 p.m., you can type into chat, and you can do what's called plot points. And it's an idea. If you get an idea, now this goes for players too, by the way. If you get an idea for, wouldn't it be great if, spend a plot point, and we will try our best to make that part of the game. It could be introducing a new complication. It could be the whole like advantage or disadvantage thing. But let's get creative. Maybe like a cat comes and like pisses all in somebody's shoes. I don't know. And then the whole time, people are just walking around in cat-smelling shoes, and maybe that complicates their life somehow. I don't know. That's like the most weird. Anyway, but you can totally do that. Just no insta deaths. So spend some plot points with us live. The other thing is, if you want to catch up on any of the previous stuff or what we're doing now, we do the podcast, Darcy was saying some traction. We had some wonderful, wonderful people in a whole bunch of states, actually, in Germany and down in Australia, giving the podcast a listen. So thanks so much. We appreciate it. We see you down there. And by all means, hit us up on Instagram as well and be part of the game. All right. I think that's it. That's intros. That's a really terrible overview of what it is. And let's take a 2-second break. We'll do our intro and then we'll begin Season 2, Strange Acquaintances. Welcome, adventurers. It's been a long time. When you last gathered together with your friends, it was complicated. Anytime you have to sit in a room opposite a 10-ton dragon and explain yourself in excruciating detail, being interrogated for hours, days on end. There were times when you weren't sure if this was ever going to end. Your lives being measured in mere fleeting instances compared to that of a long life of a dragon. But eventually, the days passed, weeks, even months, and slowly you regained your freedom. Gex, Hilda, Tillman, Isolde. One by one, your stories corroborate. One by one, you gain more and more freedom to move about the island, to climb along the hills, the steep cliff tops, overlooking the tropical island and the ocean beyond. You walk on beaches, walk through forests, through the various territories of the multitude of different dragons that run this and several of the other islands that if you, on a clear day, you can just make out squinting at the horizon. Several of these peaked islands known as the Spines. Your mission, while complicated, was successful. You got a message through to the dragons, not the orb that was going to be an offering of peace and treaty, but you got a message from the Mage Tower in Tazvrel through to the leader of the dragons of the Spines, seeking assistance in their struggles against the Inquisition.
Casting. Nope.
So, you are free to move about the islands, but still the weeks pass and you are not allowed to leave while the dragons decide their next move. Finally, the day comes. You are summoned and stand before not the 3, but 8 humanoids, slightly larger, some of them elven, some of them dragonborn in appearance, but you know that these are the transformed bodies of the ruling dragons and their lead servants. Finally, you are told that the dragons have a message to send back to Tazvrel. Something unfortunate happens, though. Tillman and Hilda, in preparation for learning that you're being sent away from the island soon, head back to the lizard folk village, not far off of which was anchored your ship that you came here, only to discover no ship at all. The ship is gone. Asking the lizard folk, they just noticed that one night it just pulled up anchor in the middle of the night and sailed away. Tillman in particular took this news badly. Can I get Gex and Isolde to do an insight check? First roll of the campaign.
Nice.
Awesome. We got a 14.
Gex, it's a little
I
hard.
don't know why it showed as Tuag, but
That's okay.
it's
That's you.
There's a little display
Yeah.
underneath the chat. There's as,
I just realized that. I'll fix it.
It's all good. So you
Whatever.
got an 18, Isolde. Gex, you know Tillman pretty well by now, but he's still a little hard to read. Half the time he's stoned, half the time he's super relaxed, but then other times he's just grinding his teeth in his bitter rage, and you have a hard time figuring out what's bothering him, but you can tell something isn't right with him. Isolde, you overheard him and Hilda talking. She was trying to calm him down, and this was even before he found out about the ship. But then, unfortunately, you can tell that something deeper is bothering him. Every time he gets a little bit angry, you see him turn and lean more and more on the psychedelic mushrooms and consume more and more in an attempt to self-medicate. He's in a bad way, and you're not sure exactly what's going on with him, but you do know that he's trying to control himself. And you're not sure if it's working yet. At that point, on word from the dragons and hearing that your new quest is coming up, Hilda and Tillman, well, Tillman lets you know. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna be able to, do this one. I'm gonna have to sit this one out. Sorry. So, Hilda has deciding to, she's quite worried about him too, so she's gonna, at least hang back a bit and catch up with you when she can, in hopes that she can support him through this. Now, the rest of you, you've got no ride. The lizard folk can put you in what are essentially oversized, what do they call it with the outrigger canoes? Lizard folk on this island not being too advanced in their technologies. Some are, but not on this island. So they essentially pack you into an oversized a runabout canoe with, or whatever, outrigger, that's it. And they're able to take you across some of the islands, hopping to the nearest island that has a larger port. So you're going to be you're going to be given passage that far, after which it's going to be up to you to secure passage back to Tazvarel. Any questions? We can also do flashbacks if you get ideas later. Any questions for Brakal, the head dragon, or any of the others?
Yeah, how were we supposed to afford this passage?
That's a good question.
Because we've been given nothing. We did all that work and we got nothing.
You will
Yeah.
leave with your lives. But if that is not enough, Pilke, the half-elf that you know to actually be a black dragon in disguise, comes walking forward and begrudgingly bows. Brakal, dragonborn, red scales, nods to him and says, "Furnish them. for their journey. So, I guess the second roll of the night will be a treasure roll. It was your idea, Bella. Why don't you go ahead and roll a D100?
Ooh.
Gladly.
Interesting.
All right. Let's see how this goes, shall we? 51.
Okay, one second. I gotta look up at the chat. Where is it? 5 to 10. There we go. I just gotta get the right table. Okay, what was that again?
51.
51. Okay. So one sec. Gotta get this off to the different screen. Okay, 51. Okay. Can I get Gex? Roll 3d6 for me.
Just 3?
3d6. Yep.
We got 13.
13. That's not bad. Okay. So it's going to be 13 times you. So Pilke pulls out this satchel and empties it at your feet. And you see and since I'm also here, and you got murdered so much by your pals the other time there, Gordon, I'm going to get you to roll a D4 and D100.
Want me to roll it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He always, nat 20, nat maximum. I predict 104.
All right. I'll roll the D4. A
Ooh.
1.
A 1.
Okay. All
Turn
right.
it over a new
And
leaf.
you said a 1d100.
100, yeah.
A 6.
Okay, so you get
Gordon's
6.
broken.
6. It was going to be the D4 times the 100 roll. So you get a
Oh
total
boy.
6 individual platinum. Pling, 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 pling. Go rolling out across the floor as he upends this small pouch. You also see clink, 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 as 13 gems glitter and bounce along the floor. There would have been 15, but 2 of them ended up in a small crack in the floor, and you can't quite reach them. So you get 13 gems worth 50 gold apiece. So that's Gex scoops those up. In the meantime, I'm going to ask Brandon, just because, just to see how
Hey.
things are going. Can I get you to roll a D4 for me?
That's another one.
Another one.
Seems
All right.
appropriate.
Good times. Good times. All right. I need to find table B. Where's table B? Where's table B? I don't even see this anymore. Come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Table B. All right. Darcy, D100, please.
Oh, I can do that. 73.
73. Okay. All right. So, Isolde, you see a vial. It's bound in a tight wrapped leather. And you see it bounce along and almost fall into one of these cracks in the uneven floor, but you managed to scoop it up before it goes long. You've managed to find yourself the oil of slipperiness. It's a potion,
Checks
uncommon.
out.
It
Thick.
seems mildly redundant, but I like it.
Yep. Okay, and now since we're doing this, I'm gonna get Gex. Go ahead and roll a 1d100.
B100.
The ceiling on that platinum roll was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, that was still actually quite a lot of money.
It would have
even
been.
How bad those rolls were.
81.
81.
Very cool.
81. Ooh, okay. I don't even know what that is. Okay, just one second. All right. You notice that one of those gems is different. You see it Do a D4 roll for me there, Gex. This is for Gex. You you can trade if you don't want your items as well.
Right.
Starting with the treasure roll. 3. All right. As predicted, one of the gems, at first you think it's a ruby, but you see there's this swirling red energy within it. And you take a closer look and you're like, whoop, and you quietly tuck that in your sleeve. You realize this is a special thing. And when you spend some time investigating it, and you discover it's a gem with a swirling fire inside. Do you want me to tell you what it is or discover it as you use it? Your choice.
You can tell me what it is.
All right.
Or
It's
you
an-
can let me roll if he
It's
knows.
an elemental
Oh.
gem. So it contains a mote of elemental energy. You can shatter the gem, and an elemental is summoned. And it would be a fire elemental. You get
Fire
it, buddy. All right.
Oh, I love Cool.
All right. Who else is here? We got Gex and Isolde. That's it. But however, I'm not going to leave people out. We got to get some magic items into the hands of some of these people. So, somewhere far away, there is a half-elf divination wizard who is it half-elf or human?
Half-elf.
Half-elf divination wizard, and you can come up with the backstory as to how you came up with this. But I'm going to ask you to roll a D100 for me.
9.
9, big 9. Okay, we're getting big. Okay, and let's call that A. I'll call that A. Table A. Go ahead and roll a D100. This is a not bad thing.
8.
8.
Cool.
Good.
You get.
This is-
Oh, ready?
I mean, usually things like this aren't, distributed by power. They're just like random.
Yeah, exactly. Your great grandmother once came in and passed you this. This is on the human side. So she was old and she was starting to go towards the end. And she came up and she had this perfectly wrapped in this beautiful cloth little package. And she, oh, come. And she calls you over by your name. Sit here. I have this for you. It was your great grandfather's, my dear Bobolo. But this was his, and he gave it to me, and now I give it to you. Use it, my child, my favorite of the great. Wait, I guess she's probably just great grandson, because great's maybe on the elf side, but and she gives you a pat and then calls you by your brother's name, and then smacks you on the side of the face a little too hard, and then sends you off packing. Later, you open this, and you open it up, and inside is a single vial with a swirling pinkish liquid. You have a standard potion of healing.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds about right.
All right. Talithar. When your wizard companion, once played by Carl back in episode 0.5, when you parted ways, when things got a little tight and you were in a difficult spot, he agreed that he suggested you'd be less likely to be caught if you parted ways. And he passed you some supplies. I need you to roll a D100, please.
Okay. $56.
He gave you a potion. Not unlike he passed you a wrapped package. You open it in a time of need and realize he's given you a potion of supreme healing. All right. And
I look at it and I say, I can heal.
oh, right. Okay, roll again. I mean, there are good things on this table.
4.
It's just you guys keep rolling crap. All right.
4.
4. Okay. You get a potion with swirling blue motes. It is a potion of flying. Better than nothing. Better
This
than
whole
nothing.
table potions.
Yeah, apparently it's potions. No, there is other good
Incredible.
stuff. There's a goddamn flying carpet on some of these things, but you guys keep rolling just trash. Okay. That's not everybody. I think
I mean, to be fair, like, the two that rolled just like potions. I guess, Isolde also just got like an oil sliverness, but there's a difference between like Dragon's Horde and setting out on an adventure, right?
Yeah. Although, I will say this: I'm gonna roll a D100, and we'll just see what I come up with. Cause, yeah, 40. Okay, what's 40? Oh, damn! Really? Okay. One of you will have this item. Who is most likely to use a dagger, short sword, or sword of the new characters?
Long sword.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Hit it.
Well, one's a monk,
it's
one's a
totally
wizard,
important.
one's a paladin that
All right.
uses.
I think it would be the paladin.
Paladin,
Would be
you have a
paladin.
magical sword. I think you already did, but you have a +1 sword, but there is a condition on that I'm not going to say yet. So just put an asterisk
Yay.
asterisk
Curses.
next to this and know that it's a thing. All right? And you're carrying it for a reason.
Okay,
Okay.
that's actually pretty good because I know I'd started in session 0 kind of a little bit with a more focus on the greatsword, but I've now shifted to sword and ward.
Okay. Well,
Nice.
whichever one you want. It could be a long sword or a great sword. It just says weapon. And it
Oh, I
gives-
can make it a greatsword?
You can if you want. It's up to you, man.
All right, I'll get back to you.
Okay.
This one.
All right. And I think there might be well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So, that's okay, hold on. We're getting a spammer. Got a spammer. Hold on, got a block. Block the spam. Did you know that there were hot girls here free? Goddamn internet. Why do you gotta be such a trash fire, internet? Not you, internet. We love you, but the regular interweaves. I mean,
Oh, Lordy.
anyway, so without further ado, let's I'm gonna get Gex and Isolde. I don't know if Bella's there, but I need to do
I am.
either
My internet.
either survival or athletics. Your choice.
Is it working? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you? Okay. My internet's being.
No worries. We can do visual.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can roll a survival. That's probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or, sorry,
I'm
athletic.
down for survival.
No
I'll roll
worries.
athletic. Actually, that's better for me.
Sure.
What's
Whichever
better
one-
for you?
23 in the end.
Okay,
That should be
23. No problem.
Okay.
You are a pretty hardy Goliath, and you've been through a lot of stuff. You've lived as many years as you have, so you learn and figure out pretty quickly how to tie yourself to the boat so you don't fall out. You manage to basically use your experience and your wisdom to understand where to do things and what to do to stay healthy and safe on this long journey between the islands that gets you to this larger island, not run officially by the dragons, but is definitely in the shadow of the spines, as it were. And you get to the town of Bernard. The town of Bernard. And it's a port town on an island, probably about 4 days travel from the spine where you left. So you make it just fine. Isolde, how did you do?
Crappy.
Ooh,
12.
12. So you're not in danger of dying from this, but you are in danger of having a really trip. It would just be balls. Oh, it's just terrible. You're just like, yeah, yeah. You're just like, no, no, I'll eat massive meals when I'm totally seasick. There's nothing wrong with that. Why would I not? And so your unfortunate, unwise choices, they come back to haunt you pretty bad, and you are going to be suffering from a point of exhaustion until you get a couple of days on land. All right. So you've made it to
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said, okay.
Would we have had any chance to have rested prior to or during any part of this voyage?
Before
are we
you would have been fully long rested since the last
Oh.
time we played. Absolutely. It's been literally months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is what you described earlier.
You were being interrogated by dragons for weeks on end. It was pretty awful, but now you've come out the other side and are feeling a lot better. But yes, Isolde now is kind of green, but besides that, besides her being unwell.
Oh, youngins.
Exactly. So you get to the town. There is I will drag everybody over there in a minute. Jumping back over to, I believe, Darcy's character.
No.
Empty. You find
Yes.
yourself in a small town. You, what brings you to the town of Bernard?
It's a port town, right?
It is relatively small town.
So
on the shipping lanes, unofficially not what's the name? It's not officially aligned with any particular faction.
sure, yeah. So Empty is from a like monastic temple somewhere scrolled away. Not like secret, but just like out of the way, right? It's sort of a hermitage. There's not just like one person there, but it's like the people there are hermited from everyone else. Whatever terminology, semantics. So she is like from this island, but doesn't live in this little village, and has come here purely to find a way into the wider world. She does not have a plan of where she is going. She just knows that this is the first stop abroad, if you will.
The first stop on the beginning of the rest. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Yes.
I'm gonna say that you have heard. Do an insight check or a perception check for
I
me.
would love to do an insight or perception check. I think I have 8 in both of them. Yeah. So I'm very wise. That's a 19.
Damn. So there's something about the energy. Maybe it's that you've been kind of cloistered away for so long that it's exciting to be in such a place filled with so many people and so many different kinds of. You think there was a halfling over there, and
Yeah.
you find yourself listening, and you overhear so many different stories and lives just intersecting, and you hear all kinds of rumors. So the things you pick up are, you hear tales of people, talking about how the dragons seemed a little bit restless on the island a few weeks back, but they've settled down now, so it's seems a little better now. And you hear tales about ships going into freak storms and having massive near shipwrecks and survivors managing to come by. You hear tales of um, machinations and rumors of mages and magic. You hear people. It's a little bit political whenever they talk about magic. The people definitely usually fall on the side of, oh, that has to be watched, or people being like, no, no, my great grandmother was um, a an apprentice. So it's really divided between those who fear the arcane arts and those who appreciate them. So you pick up a lot of the idea of the world that way, and you also
Yeah.
hear tales of this one particular kind of down on his luck human who's just been he ended up picking a fight with this person who was speaking against, like, oh, you can't trust any magic users, and he's like, hey, you shut your hole. Um, and this guy ends up in a bit of a bar brawl, and nothing that gets out of the way. Other people break it up kind of quickly. Um, and they sit gruffly back down at their seat and kind of chugging back the fifth drink of the night, wearing kind of tattered clothes, especially around the edges. Definitely signs where they've been patched and mended. Leather armor with kind of a bronze or leather edgings, and then kind of a blue stained leather is what they're wearing. Well-worn travel clothes, and they have the look of someone on the sea. Spent a lot of time at sea. What do you
Okay.
do? You want to
Yeah,
do?
I'm picturing the scene like in a movie where someone discovers they have like telepathy for the first time and they're just hearing everyone's thoughts and they're overwhelmed. She doesn't have telepathy, but it's like that same, like, I'm not used to this many people and I'm just suddenly like picking up on all these, because she has very good insight but has no like knowledge to back it up, right? And it's not that she's stupid, it's just that she doesn't have the education to like know things about the world or like the social smarts, right?
Absolutely.
It's just sort of like, okay, something happening there, something's happening there, something's happening there, something's happening there. It's just like all this stuff, and she just like, I guess, makes her way into, this is like a tavern that I saw this in. You said,
Yeah,
like,
this is
there's, like
in
a person
an
sitting
inn.
down at a desk. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and-
I think she's like sat down to like steady herself before like sort of noticing this person and being like, "You look sailory." I was like, I don't have a word for this, but yeah. Yeah.
Now, you also take a look at the people at the table who were complaining against the mages, and they enact too many taxes, and they've got all this power over the average person. It's creepy, and like there's all these rumors that they've been ripping off people, and so kind of real salt of the earth people over there. So there's kind of these two divides. Now, you're welcome to interact with either, or just take it all in.
Yeah, right now she's very like overwhelmed and doesn't know what to make of a lot of the like politic talk because she's so like divorced from that, right? Like
Fair.
magic
Can I
good,
get you to
magic
do
bad.
a
She kind of hasn't
charisma-
had much interaction with magic at all. The whole like, like, taxes and things, it's like I only know how to grow my own food or like forage in the woods. I don't know anything about. And I didn't like describe her, but like she shows up and she's just like just wearing clothes. I don't think she even has a bag of rations. Like she's just nothing. Like no
Hobo
accessories
stick
at all.
and a
right?
cloth.
Um,
That's what I'm
like
picturing.
no, like not that
Not
stuff.
even a-
Like just like a smock, right?
I wish
maybe
I
a
had
belt.
a hobo stick.
And like to like actually like describe her a bit more, like pale skin, but she has like green hair, and it's unclear if it is like some kind of dye that is part of her monastic order, if it's somehow naturally that color, or if it's like it might be algae that's just like growing in her hair, like it's in this like I don't know what that is sort of range, but it's any of those options.
Very cool.
And so she's just like, she's clearly human, but also like, who is this person? She does look like kind of the like smelly druid in the woods, except for like
Except she
not
bathes.
so tousled, I don't think. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's where the algae comes from.
All right. So
So
I'm gonna
it's
ask
questionable bathing, but it's there.
Empty,
Yeah.
can you do a charisma saving throw, please?
I can save against charisma. I will deflect all the charisma. That's what that means, right? I got an 8.
All right. You are you think like you just steady yourself by your bar, and you knock over this stool, and the waitress is getting mad at you, and other people are trying to get through, and you end up standing. You're like right in front of the walkway where the server wants to get through, and there's like get out of the way, like just social complete blindness, and the whole room.
Sorry,
you end up getting jostled. The whole room just
Okay, yeah, just yeah.
trying to just bump you out of the way, and you quickly find yourself like thrown to a corner. Roll a d8 for me. Not thrown, but like jostled to a corner.
Yeah. Sure. 2.
All right, so yeah, you end up right back out near the entrance, like right next to the entrance, just trying to dodge around, and it's just overwhelming. You take a few gulps of fresh air by the front door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
At about this time,
Let's Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask. So, Talithar, Gordon, you do miss your companion, mostly because he was damn useful. I mean, you're great at lots of things, but he was a lot more subtle than you when it came down to it, and he had abilities that complemented your own very well. And he also paid better attention during the really boring briefings. So most of the time, you leaned on him to have some of the details, and you wouldn't need to know all of them. And you really wish he was here now, because he had a near encyclopedic memory of different agents that you could contact in a variety of different villages. Now, I believe, are you a faction agent, or is that your background?
I am.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I have safe haven.
so you do have some knowledge of who you can talk to, who would be friendly to your faction within a variety of towns and villages. And you're busy racking your brain trying to remember who might be able to be a good contact in this podunk little island that you've managed to find your way to, the Bernard. So I need you to do a straight up memory check. You can roll history as well if you'd like. And I'm going to give it with advantage. Because of
With advantage.
Because
I do not
you're a
have
faction agent.
efficiency in history. So it's going to be like a straight roll.
Sure.
Five.
I'm
like, oh, I really wish Torg was here.
Yeah. You
I
miss
can't
him.
remember their names. I don't even know. I can't even remember why we had to split up again. He had to do something.
So
I was like drinking a lot, and like he gave me the. And I look at the potion again. Said I might come in handy. He was doing something, and I had to. Why am I here? Again.
now
I have
you
to
had
find
been
someone.
you had been on a mission to take an offering to the Dragon Keep, but along the way to the dragon, to the spines. However, along the way, things went sideways real fast. Agents of the Inquisitors, or you don't even know for sure, but you ended up against a variety of different conflicting sides. You ended up being pursued. At one point, your ship was on fire, so you had to abandon ship, and you got in one life raft, and Tura got in the other life raft, and you were like, okay, we'll split up. And now you know this. Not many people know this, but you know this. Not all mage towers get along. There are different factions within that group. They're a loose alliance, and so at one point you had those people trying to pull territory on you and pull rank, and they weren't being very helpful. And then there was this freaking sea creature that was just it attacked in the night and just wrecked your ship, and you had the weirdest experience of washing up on shore afterwards. You were in a life raft for a while, and then you washed up on shore, and you spent the better part of a week in this little bay, like Little Mermaid style, washed up on the sea. And it was a strange experience. You couldn't leave the water for very long. You ended up like stripping most of your armor and keeping it on the shore. It's almost like you had to hold your breath to go to shore. And then afterwards, you spent most of your time in this cove until this fever pitch kind of just passed you, and all of a sudden one night you woke up just gasping and came crawling to the shore, and it was a half remembered dream at this point, but there you are, and you found yourself on this island. You hiked for days after you finally recovered yourself a little bit and found this town. You spotted a ship, a sailing, like just a small fishing ship, and you kind of followed from the shore around back to the village or to the town.
I guess I'd follow it on my steed that I summoned.
Nice. Yeah, that'll definitely save you a lot of time and energy.
I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm gonna summon a horse. Warhorse comes. Warhorse. We follow that ship.
So yeah. So
don't abandon me, Warhorse. Not like Toreg. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Yeah, hopefully. But you find your way to this small port town. It's not even really able to call it a city. And you're trying to remember who to make contact with here, and you're not even. Eventually, you figure out one of the locals going by. You stop this young boy, and he's like, "Where am I?" And he's like, "You're in Burnham, Bernard. I passed school."
Okay, Bernard.
And you know that you're probably less than a week from the dragon spines. Just roll a dice, and evens and odds is what I need.
Okay, I'll roll a d6.
Oh, the interweebs? Evens.
6.
Okay, so you have in your possession a cloth-wrapped, solid sphere of glass. I imagine you've probably looked at it at some point. It's a dark, swirling crystal. I don't know if you would have investigated it further, but this is the thing that you were tasked
little bit
with bringing to the dragons as a peace offering.
I probably would have investigated a little bit if I was allowed to. I don't think they would have said.
Go ahead and roll Arcana, or if you've got it, Identify spell.
I don't have Identify. I have a Detect Magic.
It is definitely magical. You cast Detect Magic, and it is glowing.
Okay, so I'll just do a straight roll just to see if I understand what it is. 10.
I mean, again, it's not your forte. You really
not my
miss
forte. Toreg, where are you?
Yeah. You know.
Well,
it's
whatever.
magical.
I'm just gonna hand this over to the dragons.
Exactly.
And they'll know what to do with it.
Exactly.
Just kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
On my
Keep
person.
it secret. Keep it safe.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
All right. So you
Not gonna mess it up like some of the other people that are coming here. Nope, not me.
So you spend several days, and you've got coin. You can buy. Well, you can stay in an inn. You can camp outside the city if you feel.
I'll stay at an inn.
Okay.
I've been spending days out there. I go to an inn and kind of settle in.
Absolutely. So you you find your way to the inn and you spend some days there, and for the most part it's, you know, I mean, it's only about, you spend a night there with hopes of moving on probably pretty soon after. And as you're there, you're busy having a pint and trying to think of what's the name of somebody in Bernard. Like, Turek would know, but you don't off the top of your head, unfortunately.
Too small. Like I don't know all the places.
Can I get you to
Bernard.
do a perception check?
Yeah, I could do that. That's something I am at least proficient in. $22.
Damn. Okay. So you notice three things. One of these people had just gotten in this tussle with some locals. You heard the voices raised, and it was something about can't trust a mage. And they were just like, shut up! And they had a bit of a verbal disagreement. It came to a couple of shoves, and then it got split up.
Who said can't trust the mage? Was it a bunch of people?
Yeah, a bunch of people
guy.
kind of around a table, kind of
Okay.
salt, like real kind
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, just kind of probably fishermen, maybe dock workers, kind of having a drink, and it's very classist, kind of like working class folk. And the other person is dressed in what at one time was probably pretty decent armor, leather armor. They have a look of themselves around them that they might be some kind of sailor, but that's not what draws your eye with the 22. What draws your eye is the colors. Each mage tower has a particular color scheme, variations on a theme, and you spot a crest and you spot the color scheme of a mage tower in the armor. You see the embossed logo in the back of the armor, over the chest as well, over the breastplate, and you can tell that this is a person who works for well, I mean, hold on, I want you would, with a 22, you know the faction name. You see that it is a mage tower sailor, but it is not Tazvarel. It is written down here somewhere, and I want to get it right because I know you write this stuff down.
Well, I'm writing right now.
Basratal is one of the island-based mage towers. They're
Basratal.
tasked. Yeah, Basratal. You remember, it's almost in Turug's voice. Basratal is the mage tower is tasked with guarding the fourth quarter, which, if you remember correctly, is basically the seas in this north and eastern direction.
I assume it's not. Is this mage tower? Would I know if they're allied to mine?
On paper, yes, they will answer each other's summons. They will assist each other, but there's so much interpolitical nonsense between these. You would, with a 22, you would realize that these two, they're very intense about their task of guarding the fourth quarter, almost to the exclusion of all else. Tazvrel is much more central. Ironically, Tazvrel is guarding the fifth quarter, and I'm not misspeaking.
Okay. Well, I take note of it, and he's just. I take note of him and anyone else in the room, but beyond that, I'm just kind of preparing myself to depart the next morning.
Sure. So, yeah, you don't particularly pick up a name or anything, but you see he's in his cups, and he looks pissed and like almost itching for a fight, judging by what just went on. And the locals start giving him much more of a wide berth.
You know what? I'm kind of like in a mood, so I buy him a drink. Say, hey, like I'll get an extra drink. And I put one. Mind if I join you?
Quick question, and I'll roll a perception check to see if it matters. If he picks up on it, do you wear things that identify you as your faction, or no?
So I do have a faction crest. I don't have it emblazoned on my plate mail, but I do have the crest, so I can show it. So as I sit down, I'll let him glance at the crest.
Ugh. Well met, stranger. Thank you. Could use another.
I'll have a drink as well.
He that's about when he clocks your crest, is you kind of let your cloak fall back over it. Takes another sip. So, how do you find yourself in this podunk town? I don't imagine you live here.
No, I'm kind of journeying somewhere to give a message, and got a little bit sidetracked with some inconvenient
Yeah,
people.
there's that going around.
Yeah.
So,
You?
my ship is in dry dock. Took a real beating. Some of those people going around, you might have mentioned. If I get my hands on them, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, you are a little bit of ways from the fourth quarter yourself.
Well, go ahead and roll persuasion to see how much you can get out of them. See if you
Sure.
can open them up some.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you advantage because you're on the same side, but sort of.
Okay, first roll's a 26.
There's only one number that's better than a natural 19. You might as well try for it.
26.
Okay, 26. He almost immediately begins to recount what he was in, like why he was here. Yeah, fourth quarter. These, you would not believe the things that have been stirring in the deep. And it's on us to stop that, to keep it in check. So I'm tracking this one little problem, and it's going well. And then all of a sudden, we end up in the churn, chasing down. And next thing I know, half of my ship is exploding. And this creature reaches up from the middle of this deep and starts attack. I swear they're starting to unify. You're with the main city. You're with Tazrael, yeah? He lowers his voice.
Yeah. And something stirred up and took out my ship.
I mean, we can handle a lot, but I feel like, and no offense, but I feel like your leaders have been turning a blind eye to this section, and we keep sending our best out, and our best keep not coming. I lost half of my crew. Half. There's a lot going on, and you have to be careful who you can trust.
So, you know what? I'm going to chat him a bit more, but just going to kind of at least get on his good side to say, hey, you know, we're in it together. This sucks. What happened to both of us, but here I am. Here you are. Right? So, you know, at least we got each other's backs in a way.
I hope so. I mean, that's all fine and good for the people in here, but the people upstairs, they need to know this too.
I'll tell them when I get back. I just have to finish this errand.
Give my friend a round on me. And the bartender's like, you haven't paid your last round. Shut up. Give him a round. All right.
So
Elias.
we'll just chat.
sorry. Yeah.
We'll just chat and kind of. But I'm basically just trying to, one, be on his good side. Two, if he has any information or intel to help me get to the spines, that's probably what I'm kind of angling for.
I don't even have a ship right now. Not for another 6 weeks. I would help you out if I could. Once my ship is ready, we can get you close. We could probably... I don't know, that's pretty dangerous territory. Why are you going to the spines?
Like I said, task for our business.
Yeah.
There is...
Spy masters.
There is... Yeah, well... There is attempts to, as you said, pay more attention to what's going on here.
They should talk to allies, not to strangers, creatures you can barely trust. At that point, this guy's human. You pick up he's a little nervous. Even I eyeballs like some of the dwarves a little bit sideways who are in the room. With the 22, you pick up on that.
Yeah.
All right. He kind of turns and, you're a half elf. You're a half elf. But you do see a half elf walk in. And you see him clock him and kind of do a quick measure. And then stand up and go. He's like, excuse me. He gets up, goes walking over towards the door, motions towards it, and goes and sits at a kind of an empty table, kind of further back, and motioning this half elf that just came in to come a little bit closer. Elias, your great-grandmother was many things in her life, but towards the end, she's still there. She's still around. I don't want to preempt that. But she thinks she's a lot more competent than she really is. Like, you keep going over there and finding the cat in the bread bin, that kind of thing. And so when she... I don't know if the rest of your family is still around, but you checked in on her, and she was getting herself dressed in ceremonial armor and robes that are probably 2 to 3 decades old and just don't fit very well. They're like 3 inches too tall because she's shrunk over time, and then nothing fits the way it should, and she's got it half like the separated buttons, and and she's like, help me with this. What do you want to say to your I don't know, what do you even call your great grandma?
Just oh boy, just Grammy.
Grammy.
I go over and I start helping her, and it's like, this is... Why are you doing this? It's quite early in the morning for this.
I don't want to be late.
Okay. I guess we should get going once you're finished.
Oh, good. And could you find my damn cat?
Did you check the bread bin?
Huh? You check the bread bin, and the cat bolts out of there as soon as you open the lid. And she's like, no, where was I? And after a while, she eventually kind of meanders back, half dressed, back into the living room, and prestidigitates the kettle so that it suddenly starts to whistle. Get that and make me a cup. Make me a cup, boy.
Okay. Thank you for your manners. And he just walks over, grabs the cup, starts pouring her the tea. Are you gonna tell me where we're going?
It's business. It's business. I don't know if I can trust a child with this business, but you can help. You can help, Grams.
Grammy, I'm 18 now. I'm not a child.
Yes,
And
yes,
just
yes.
gives her the tea.
She takes like one sip, savors it a little bit, and then immediately pours most of it out just on the ground. But keeping the last little bit, and she pulls out a handkerchief out of her pocket and just strains it, and then puts it back in the cup, so the tea leaves are left in the cup, and then she begins. Yeah, bring a light.
All right. And I'll grab, I guess, a torch from off the wall and just kind of hold it.
So she holds the cup in such a way the light can now illuminate the leaves beneath, and she's busy. Closer, closer, and you're like, I don't want to burn you. And she eventually, you see her kind of reading the leaves. Yes. This is shit.
You're welcome.
No, boy. This, and she points emphatically at the leaves.
Oh,
What do you see?
I feel like you've already given me the answer, but I'll give it a look. And I'll swirl it around and I'll just be like, yeah, I guess shit. There's no other way to put it.
Roll Arcana for me. If you want to spend a spell slot, you could actually also cast Augury. Technically, I would allow that.
Nah, let's go Arcana. Jesus Christ, 12.
I mean, it's all clumpy. There are ways to divine the future, to affect it, to change it, and you're familiar with some of those ways. But whatever your Grams sees in the bottom of her cup eludes you. You take her at her word, and she's like, ah. Listen. I need to find my cat. And it's a simple message. I need you to run an errand for me. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you do it in your nice clothes.
Now, I can write it down for you if you wish, but you'll have to burn the paper when you're done.
I can just remember it, it's fine.
But you forgot your times tables just the other week. That was like 8 years ago.
I was 10, and math is not my strong suit.
And she like pats you on the head. I need you to send a message. There's a man. He's from the Balthasar. His name is
Okay.
Hudrick. And I need you to tell him, boy. I need you to tell him the message. He needs to fix his things on his own. And I am semi-retired, and I'm not going to help him.
Okay.
You tell him to eat shit.
I'll say it's
And
from
she passes
you.
you the cup.
Okay. I guess I'll go find Hudrick now.
Good.
You're okay to go to the ceremony by yourself?
Oh, I'm too old for that. I'm going to go lie down.
All right. Well, I guess I'll be on my way. Just make sure you take the clothes off and store it properly. Also, leave the door open so the cat can come back in.
Oh, yes, if you see the cat, you tell him. You tell him. And then she
Okay, that's
she
okay.
literally
just
walks
to-
away
okay.
mumbling.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm gonna go on my way. Can I see if I find the cat before I leave?
Sure, do a perception check for me.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. 26.
Oh, damn. You spot the cat just busy licking its paw, like up on this fence in the backyard, and it looks at you. And in this light, you can see the ever so slight translucent nature of this creature. It's the light from behind, you can see the apple trees in the background. Just, it is clearly a familiar. And it clearly doesn't like whatever your Grams makes it like. It's kind of it's been around a long time. It's getting really lots of attitudes of itself, and it looks at you and you swear to God, you don't speak cat, but you swear to God this thing sighs.
I just look at him like just like me too. Okay, just don't leave her.
And hops down off the fence, pads back inside.
And I will set off to find Hoodrick.
All right. I'm going to get you to do a investigation check. See if you can track down somebody named Hoodrick. Oh, damn.
26.
26. So you might not have been great at math, as you said, but you definitely pay attention to patterns and whispers, and you managed to track down pretty quickly, talking to like not even half a dozen people in town. You're just like, all right, it's a small town. You go down. You happen to know you happen to know that like the quartermaster's like brother. You go and talk to him, and very quickly you are told that Hoodrick, yeah, that's yeah, his ship's up in dry dock. He'll probably be drinking up at the tavern about now, and yeah, they give you a quick description. Human, definitely, and they kind of drop their voice and like, yeah, mage. So you know.
Noted. Thank you very much, sir.
Say
You
hey
know.
to your Grimes for me.
I'll try, and then head off to the tavern, I guess, first. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Gex, Isolde, we're going to come back to you, but we're going to take a little break first. Just a little 5 or 8 minute. I keep forgetting to do those, so feel free to pipe up and do that. Interweebs, stick around for a little bit. We'll be back in 5 minutes or so, and we'll continue our story with season 2, Strange Acquaintances, even stranger or something. I don't know. See you in a few. And welcome back 10 seconds early. Boo! Sorry. I meant to say 10 minutes, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. We are back. We're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons. We are going to return to our story of intrigue and backstabbery and front stabbery and monsters and mayhem and mages. So let's dive back in. And hi, everybody. So we've established the underpinnings of the small town of Bernard. I keep saying the wrong name. But there are now 2 new members, 2 new inhabitants of Bernard. Stepping off onto the dock, standing tall, your bald Goliath head kind of glistening in the sunshine. You breathe in the sea air. And the port is bustling around you. You had to clamber up a wooden ladder at the edge of one of these piers. You can hear the knocking sounds of an outrigger canoe, actually a small cluster of them, kind of tied loosely towards the bottom of one of these docks. As you are finally ashore. And you look to your left there, Gex, and as one of your companions comes climbing up, several of them, but one of them in particular, she doesn't look good.
Mm-mm.
Isolde, I'm gonna need you to do a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
I'll just kind of rub her on the back.
Oh no.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Breathe deep. Breathe deep.
No.
The air is a cure for such things.
Eat.
Look to the horizon. You'll be fine.
That sound of the... Oh, yeah. The fish you ate is not sitting well. Ooh. And it is. Dex, I'm gonna need you... Well, you're Gex. You're a rogue. Do a dexterity saving throw, just to see if you can get out of the way.
Let's see. Let's see if we can handle that. Yeah, 21.
Oh, yeah. You easily sidestep and just your long reach of your arms, you're just rubbing her back from an ever so slight distance, holding her hair, because you're a nice guy. All right, so you have landed in Bernard. Where or what? Where do you want to go, and what do you want to do?
Let's go find somewhere to sleep this off.
It's probably a good idea. In a little. I need food. You need sleep.
No food. Oh my god.
Come, young one. Let's go. Start heading pubwards.
Sure thing. Now you've done some traveling before, Gex, but I don't think you've ever been here before.
Devil.
Yeah, it's a bit of a smaller town. It's not near any of the major trading post routes. You gather pretty quickly. I don't know if you guys can see the map. I've dragged you all to the town of Bernard. By the way, thank you very much to Daniel's Maps on Patreon for this. I am not the artist. He is, so they are. So go check that out. Okay, so you can gather pretty quickly. There's the old docks, the North Gate, the old watchtower, the new docks, the Busby Bushy Beard Tavern. I'm sorry, I can't read. The fish market. You can smell the fish market, and it causes Isolde to retch even more. Hilda's been awful quiet, but she will say, I think she's there. We may need to retcon that later. There's a temple further, kind of right in the heart of the downtown, and there's kind of a market right there with all these different stalls. Most of it's fish, but there's some other things on for sale at a few of the different stalls out amongst that. There's also some a mix of homes and some small businesses in the buildings around. You also gather pretty early on. You get a glimpse near the quartermasters that there is North Docks and South Docks and so forth. Can I get you to do an investigation check for me, Gex?
8.
Well, you don't gather a lot of news, unfortunately. Basically, it's nobody really wants to talk to you because you have someone with you who is very, very busy being sick into a sack. So it's a little hard to get a good read on the town. Pretty quickly, though, you gather that right near the center of the village the town probably has an inn. So you kind of wander through the fish market for a little while. And that does not go over very well for Isolde, unfortunately. But eventually you do see a sign of a tavern called the Bushy Beard Tavern.
Well, yeah, we'll head in there.
Sure.
And,
it is number 5 on the map, if anybody wants
yeah.
to.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so I'll head in and kind of approach tavern owner type looking person. If I can establish that someone does appear to run the place,
Absolutely.
and see about a room for Isolde, and then I'll also ask if there is a money changer in town they can
You wanna
point
what?
me to.
A money? You want money? Well, there are people that fish for money.
I
This,
believe that. This is a very prolific fishing town, apparently.
well,
But
people
do you
can
have?
make a good living.
Mhm.
The innkeeper is kind of a bit of a gruff guy. He's busy. It's actually a surprisingly busy place right now. So they're busy kind of running about. There seems a little understaffed at the time, but mostly it's kind of locals drinking, kind of small groups here and there. And the innkeep, he's a bigger human dude with a bushy beard, not surprisingly. And kind of looks over your shoulder at Isolde as she's kind of turning a sickly pale green. He's like, "Is something wrong with her?"
Oh, she doesn't take too well to the sea. If I could get a chunk of bread and a tankard of water for her, much appreciated.
Oh
Toss a
yeah.
coin on the counter.
All right, all
And
right.
then,
Just make sure she's not sick on my falls.
no, do you have rooms available?
We got some rooms upstairs. You want one, two?
We'll take one for now,
Ah, yeah.
and then
So
get
it's
her
gonna,
situated.
with the meal and the room, that's gonna run you about 3 gold for the three of you. I'm assuming. Well, no, Hilda's gonna be on a different runabout. It's just the two of you right now.
Okay.
And oh, actually, there is a third of you. So, cut back to that. As you were leaving, you were called aside by Vesra and Isolde and Gex. You were told, yes. Oh, hold on. I have a voice for Vesra, and it's going to drive Darcy crazy. That's not it. That's a different.
I need you. Whoa, what is that? That sounds weird. Okay. I need you to bring someone along to talk on behalf of the dragons. Can you do that?
I suppose that won't be. Sure, we can do that.
Good, good. I'll let them meet you down at the Lizardfolk village. You're gonna need to bring an envoy on behalf of myself and my father. Lesren.
So you meet this Lesserin down by the village, a large, almost 7.5 foot tall lizard folk guy dressed in bits of collected armor, but mostly a kind of a cobbled together chain armor, carrying a pack, which is pretty high level gear for somebody in the lizard folk community. I mean, most of them are pretty unadvanced, let's say. So this makes him stand out a bit, but you were requested to bring this dragon envoy with you named Lesserin.
Well, someone I can look at eye to eye. All right.
Now, in your travels, we can cut back and forth, but during your travels, you get to know Lesserin. He's not much of a speaker, doesn't talk all that often, does understand and does speak, but generally most of his answers have been monosyllabic. And he's just kind of like, yes, you will take me. You will introduce me to these mage peoples, and I will speak on behalf of Esra.
All right. Well, sure. You sound like just fantastic company.
I am fantastic company.
Sure, you got lots of cool stories. Sweet. All right. Well,
He's
okay,
that
jumping-
silent, awkward, like
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cut
Yeah,
back.
some of these
So
wonderful
he is on the
singing-
docks. You can bring him into town if you want, or you can leave him at the.
Yeah, keep him close. I'll keep him close. Yeah, so I'll get Isold situated, and then Isold, why don't you chill here for a little bit? I'm gonna do a bit of a tour around the town, get a lay of the land, and come back.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
just sleep. Yeah, sleep.
just like, go like tuck her into bed and close the door.
All right. Oh, that was a bit of a swift hit. You come back
Oh, that was
downstairs.
good town exploring music right
It
there.
is. It's town exploring.
Yeah.
So you go back down to the tavern, and it's starting to get a bit later in the day. They've got a flute player in the corner, kind of doing their thing. It's doing a sea shanty mostly, and it's getting a little lively. Some people coming in and going, and everyone, and I mean everyone, is leaving a really wide berth around this lizard folk massive guy, Lesren, sitting at a table waiting for you to come back down. Drink untouched in front of him.
Why don't you come along with me? Go for a wee stroll. See what kind of town we got here.
I can stroll. He gets up.
I bet you can.
And like you thought people looked at you funny, being a Goliath. This guy, they're just like actively like jumping out of the way of. As you're walking out, do a perception check for me.
Time to perceive. 18.
That's not bad. Okay, you're just kind of casting your eyes. You got Isold tucked away in the corner. Let me just roll something real quick here. Okay. So you're looking about and you spot a couple of different things. You can see kind of the wallflowers and locals and fishermen. Somebody kind of standing by the edge, kind of ducking in and around, wandering the market as well. You can see several people who stand out as not being like fishermen. So one of them's this pretty sizable, big shoulders on him, sitting at the bar, half elf fella. You also see in the corner, you're just about to leave, kind of ushering the lizard folk out in front of you, the lizard man out in front of you, and your eyes kind of glaze over the room in that way that, that practiced way of somebody who casing a room that has seen you through many of your adventures, and your eyes just glaze over and then lock back on. The threshold was 18 as you see a familiar face. You recognize a face.
Is it Tammy? Better not be Tammy.
It's not Tammy. That'd be fun though. Plot point? I could do that.
It's not Tammy.
It's well,
He thinks for
we can
is
save
that
Tammy.
Tammy
Let's
or
keep
what?
Tammy on the side for just a second. Well, now I want it to be Tammy. Interweaves? Do we want Tammy here? No. It's actually
It's both. They've had a terrible accident.
so
Transporter accident. Yeah.
you see
Too
a
big.
human fella, tall, lean, mean, wearing kind of bronze or brown edged leather armors with kind of shellacked blue central pieces. The last time you saw them, they were also wearing a white cloak flung over their shoulder and a massive albatross flying above them, circling on the deck of your ship as you were being inspected by a mage from one of the Mage Tower ships, the very ship that pursued you shortly thereafter, hunting.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm very impressed he survived the explosion.
You spot him. What do you want to do?
I want to ensure I am not reciprocally spotted.
Roll a stealth check.
Yeah. What's my stealth bonus? 24.
Cool. They appear to be waiting for somebody, kind of drumming the table. They've just moved over to a side table by the look of the way they were moving and just sat down. And as they're turning around, you duck behind the lizard folk, and he eyeballs this lizard man in front of you, who you are now in front of, ducking around, and now are stopping in the entrance, using your own companion as a cover.
I'll just whisper to him, on second thought, would you mind just hanging out here in case Isolde wakes up? That'd be great. Thanks. See you. Bye.
I do not mind hanging out.
I'm just gone.
And he turns around and walks back inside, and then goes and sits back at his table. And like this other fisherman who was just sitting down there, actually another person was just sitting down there at what was an empty table, and the large lizard man looks at this relatively tiny, comparatively human, and eyeballs them with these strange lizard eyes and looks at them and says, I am hanging out. What are you doing? So what are you doing, Empty?
Oh, that's fine. I was actually thinking of approaching them because I was like, oh dang, this is like, people are leaving this person's presence, and then therefore there'll be less people. But you actually already put me there. I love that. I'm just trying to not be noticed right now.
Me
Hi.
too. How do you think I'm doing?
I mean, people... Yeah, good. I think we're both doing good. I'm
think
empty.
so.
Empty wisdom.
I'm Lesren.
Lestrin. You seem nice.
I am nice.
I like to think I am too, but I guess other people need to sort of tell me that to really know.
I can tell you that. You seem nice.
Well, thank you.
And then the awkward silence stretches out and the flute playing goes on.
I'm
It's
gonna say it's a comfortable
Okay,
silence.
yeah, you can settle into a
It's
comfy
like, yeah,
silence.
it's nice.
Well, actually, yeah, maybe. I mean, you're kind of used to silence being, a monk of sorts. All right.
The like birth that people are like, I can't say that correctly. My brain just froze. You know what I'm saying? People are giving a wide berth, and that is making me more comfortable.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the presence is clearing out an area around, and you're like, okay, this isn't so bad.
Mhm.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not even like it's like the lizard folk is cold-blooded, so it's like you don't even get the same sense that there's a living
different.
thing. Yeah, it's a different calmerness. That's a real word. No, it's not. Anyway, so you're chilling at the table with a lizard man. Like
Damn.
you do. This must be just every town has one of these.
I guess. Yeah, I'm learning all sorts of new things.
At about this point, there's kind of a cut over towards the bar. People are coming and going, and somebody comes in and is talking with the bartender. And the bushy beard bartender turns over to the half elf wizard Elias is like, "Oh right, yeah, I saw him here. He was oh, there he is. He's over there."
Thank you, sir. And I'm just gonna walk on over.
As you start to walk away, you can see that the hand just slightly extended out, like, yeah, no, okay. Kind of looking for the no tip. Okay.
No.
So so you go towards the corner where you see this kind of lithe, lean human sitting in the corner, looking a little grouchy and kind of nursing a cup. He's sat down just a little while ago. Judging by the look of things, kind of still settling himself in. And he looks up as you approach. As the man you're told is Hodrick.
Hey, sorry to disturb you while you're off duty, but I have a message from somebody. That sounds suspicious. I'm not trying to be suspicious. It's from my grandma. I know that sounds
You just say
even
her
worse.
name. You would know it. We can
Yeah.
establish that later. Or you can just
Yeah.
on the what? Wait, actually, this would be a perfect time. Internet or other players, what's his Gram's name? Just saying. Or you can say yourself if you have established it in canon.
No, we'll keep it open. Anybody want to give me a name?
Anybody at the table? Or the internet? We need a
Ma.
name.
Just Ma.
Meemaw.
Mima.
Just Meemaw.
Mima.
Me, Ma.
Oh, I was thinking
She's
like Beatrice or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good name. Do that.
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Yeah. I'm Beatrice's grandson. Nice to meet you, Elias. And she said, and I apologize if this sounds a bit harsh, but apparently the tea leaves were harsh. You need to fix things on your own.
He scowls.
Sorry, I should have whispered that. That I should not have made your
It's at
issues
that
public.
moment the person playing the flute took a break too, so the whole place goes quiet, and they're like, "Fix it on
Huh.
your own." Oh, no. You're just suddenly like, "Oh, what?" And he kind of glances up at you with this intense look, and he's just like, "Another fine example of allyship. Is there anything else, boy?"
I feel kind of bad now, and I know this is kind of going against what my grandma said. But if you have a problem, I can help solve it.
Can you fix a ship in less than 6 weeks?
No, but if we take a more holistic approach, I could probably take care of whatever broke the ship.
Have a seat.
And he sits down.
You could bring half my crew back to life.
No, but working holistically again, if we take care of the thing that broke your ship and my condolences killed half your crew, then, speaking going forward, like it wouldn't kill another ship and half crew, so
Do an either insight check or just straight to a persuasion check for me. Or both.
where's my sheet? Go. Let's go for persuasion. 17. Damn it.
That's not too bad. Not a fantastic for what you could probably pull off, but yeah, it's not too bad. So he looks up at you and he's like, you can see this barely contained rage, but it softens a little bit. And he looks back at it. You get the impression he's been in the drink for a lot of the day and probably was spoiling for a fight, but He doesn't appear to be taking you as a target. Instead, he's just like, you bring me sons of bitches responsible, and I will personally make sure that you get a patron. Assuming you take after Beatrice. And he kind
Yeah.
of huddles down. You a magic user, boy.
Yep, that's the name of the game for my family, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, well, some people don't look too kindly on that.
Well,
the-
we try not to align too closely, because if you know my grandma, then you know what we do, and like it's a bit unfair if like we're on someone's side, if that makes sense.
Well, my experience, I'll give you a bit of advice for free. You pick a side, or a side picks you as a target.
Duly noted. So, about this thing that attacked you.
Is a ship. Hastily painted letters. You ever hear of a ship called the Bullship? Roll history check if you want to.
Okay. That's a 12.
Oh no, none of us have ever heard of that ship.
Can I do like an insight check to see if he's like joshing me?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Like a reasonable assumption.
That's a 14.
He's a bit hard to read, but he doesn't appear to be lying. Like he keeps a straight face when he says it.
Okay. I've
What
heard
about
of it
any-
now.
What about any hags? Sea
Besides my-
hags.
Oh, okay.
He kind of chuckles at that.
No.
Well, they keep mostly over towards the west of here, but there's tracking one. A coven, really. Found one. Cornered it. And then she and a bunch of those wads decided to destroy my ship. So if you ever
Now.
get
Okay.
any word, let me know. If you've
Will
got your
do.
grandmother's gift, and you get an idea where this might where there might be, I'll give you good coin.
Okay. Sounds like a deal.
And with a 17, he seems to be gruff, but has somewhat taken you in, and kind of motions towards the bar. Get around for my colleague here. And the bard picks up the flute again and starts playing another All right. I'll leave the floor open. What do people want to do? You're all in basically the same zone.
So just the guy that I recognized, did I recognize just the one guy, or did I recognize he's got some crew with him?
You can do another perception check and see. With 18, you noticed him. But
Yeah,
you
same roll again,
can
actually.
peek in again, kind of through the window and see. An 18?
Same again, yeah.
All right, so you can tell that some people are definitely going by and greeting him. You don't recognize the people he's immediately near, but A couple of people have greeted him. One guy is sitting with him, but you don't recognize that guy. Pretty young. And the rest don't appear to be. It kind of depends on how long you want to stand outside and skulk.
I just want to take like a 5 or 10 seconds to like look at anybody that's sort of with him to see if I recognize like, or to see if I can tell like, are they with him, right?
Mhm.
Even
It
if I don't
appears-
recognize them per se, I want to
Yeah.
try and get a sense of does he have a group of dudes with him?
It looks like at the moment, it's hard to tell. He definitely has somebody sitting with one person sitting with him. But he kind of locks eyes and nods and exchanges a few words over the next couple minutes with a few other people. A couple people at the bar, the bartender, the person who is sitting with him. And that's about what you get.
Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to know what to do right there because that is definitely some danger.
Isolde, you're very parched. Your throat's a bit raw. You could really use maybe a meal. Your stomach has finally stopped churning. Maybe a drink, maybe a bit of hair of the dog. What do you want to do?
Mommy? Mommy? Is that you? Oh, dear, I feel like I just got hit in the head with a fish.
You can hear
Oh.
downstairs the music, it and the smell of non-fish for a little bit
Oh,
coming up from
thank
below.
God.
Like this smells like some kind of stew or something, and it's the first thing that hasn't churned. You still have that
My
feeling
stomach?
like the land is doing
Yeah.
this, but it's calmed down a little bit.
I'm just going to kind of look around, get my bearings.
Sure. You're in a room. Gex tucked you in. You had a little rest now, but you're feeling a lot better now. You're on the second floor of a tavern in a small podunk town on the edge
Okay.
of some islands. What do you want to do? You're upstairs right now.
I'm going to look around for my gear
Yeah, it's all there.
and gear up, and I'm going to follow my nose to that lovely stewy smell.
Sure thing. All right, so you make your way down, out and down the stairs, kind of into the main tavern room. You can see there's a innkeep behind the bar, big bushy beard. It's actually getting pretty full in here. It's almost the only inn and tavern in town, so it's starting to fill up as the evening kicks on. Probably getting around dinner time. You see the bartender, kind of big old grizzly beard, and he kind of looks up at you as you come down the stairs. Can I get you something?
Anything but fish.
Right, beef costs extra.
Fine.
Got to ship it in from over the pass. So,
That's okay.
So he starts to.
My friend is going to pay.
Oh, the big fella.
Yeah.
Or that one.
Yeah.
And he points over towards
That
the
one,
lizard man.
sure.
And you can see the lizard man sitting at a table with somebody else, just looking around. The eyes doing the sideways blink thing.
Yeah, she'll just agree and be like, yeah.
Whoever you say, that's who's paying.
That's right.
And he motions towards the kind of the end of the bar. It's one of the few seats available in the whole place, so you end up kind of perched up at the L of the bar. He's like, it'll be out in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
So go ahead and do a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. At disadvantage, correct?
Yes.
Teen.
All right. It's a pretty busy place. You kind of clock. There's a half elf. And there's also a half elf further down in the kind of off towards the corner. There's quite a few kind of townies and sailor types and fisherman types. Judging by the smell of it, you kind of avoid those tables. And not a bad little flute player, kind of down towards the end. You're kind of just tapping your foot, listening to the music. Bartender puts a big bowl of beef stew in front of you, and it smells a lot better, and it doesn't smell like fish. And I do need you to do a quick charisma saving throw.
Okay. Now, this isn't an ability check, so I get my regular roll, right?
That's right. Nice.
19.
19. So you get the whole like verbal as you like get excited about food, and then your stomach gives one last gurgle, but you manage to keep it down and not belch out loud. And the innkeep kind of gives you a nod, and you're sitting there just starting to enjoy your stew, and your stomach's starting to settle a little bit. All right.
Oh, good.
No, keep going. There is a table with the lizard folk guy that you're supposed to be escorting, and some person sitting with them, kind of quietly, both looking around.
I'll pick up my bowl and just saunter over.
Sure. You kind of walk over and stand next to the lizardman, and he kind of looks up at you. Yes.
I'm
Actually-
gonna eat now.
He
Actually,
kind of
what?
he kind of takes his long clawed finger and spears a piece of beef out of your bowl, and just kind of the long kind of lizard tongue just flicks out and brings it in. Razor sharp looking teeth, kind of busy tearing it to pieces as he chews.
At first, I get ticked off, and then I realize, nah, he's paying. It's all good.
Nice. He kind of gives a nod. Where did you get this?
There. From that hairy dude.
He stands up. Harried man, I require this. And he points at the bowl, and and again, the music kind of just comes to a stop as half the room is looking up at this almost 8-foot tall lizard man pointing at you. And then the bartender kind of gives the nod, and the music slowly comes back. He gets a bowl after a few minutes. You all sit around. You're hanging out, chewing. All right, Gex, what are you doing?
He's gonna leave that bee for a second. Gonna just take a quick run through the streets to kind of not run, but go through the streets, just get a sense of the shape of the place, what's where.
Sure.
And then
Go
come
ahead
back.
and do a quick investigation check for me.
While he's doing that, at some point I'm going to finish, once I've settled in, I'm actually going to go check out the shipwright, the shipping docks, to see if there's a ship available for passage to the spines.
For sure.
Because I literally just kind of rode in, got to the inn, settled in, relaxed a bit, got some food in me, and got a room. But now I think I'm like, well, this guy who I haven't talked to, it's going to be 6 weeks. No way. There must be another ship that's going along the way to the spines, so I'm going to check out passage.
Sure thing. So I need you to do an investigation roll as well. Oh, and Steve, you got 18. So it takes you a little bit to get the lay of the land. You take in the market. Things are starting to get packed up. It's only about maybe 7 o'clock. The sun is still up, but it's getting close to the horizon. There's kind of a bit more of a manor situation going on. Like a town hall type place, but it is closed for business already. And then lots of little buildings kind of scattered around, a few docks and not warehouses per se, but you can tell they're used mostly for storage closer to the docks. As you approach the docks from whence you came, there is kind of one building that's kind of very close to the docks, and it looks to be some kind of office as well. So that seems to be probably your best bet for finding somebody in charge of organizing the variety of motley ships that seem to come and go. And you
Yeah, I might
both
just
get
pop
that.
in there for a second then.
Sure.
Ask a
Um,
couple of questions.
Sure thing.
I'm not really investigating. I'm really just gonna ask.
Oh, okay.
First, use my persuasion. Yeah.
Oh, well, they, Talithar. What's your name again? Talithar?
Yeah, Tal.
Tal. So, Tal, you ask, who are you gonna ask? Just around, or the barkeep, or?
I'll ask the bartender before I go. Like I settle up.
Oh,
Say,
sure.
Looking for
Oh.
passage on a ship.
Right, you better go down and talk to Tony. He's probably closing up shop pretty soon. And he points
I'll
in the
tip the
direction of the
bartender.
quartermaster's office.
Yeah, and I'll tip him for the direction. Then I'll head off to the quartermaster.
You can kind of see him grip the coin and be like, right, proper. About time someone knows how to behave. And you kind of start going on. And you walk past some weirdos and a big lizard man pointing at a bowl of stew. Anyway, so you push your way past all of that at the door and head on out. And let's say just you end up at the quartermaster just as the shop looks like they're like walking up to turn the sign like closed. And you both get there at exactly the same time. The two of you standing side by side outside of Gex and Talithar, basically knocking at the door, being like, come on. What do you do?
I just kind of nod at him.
I'm just gonna
Uh,
shrug. And
Oh.
You can see that they're
You're not
literally
closed yet.
reaching for the lock, trying
and
not
I
to
and I
notice you.
literally say, "You're not closed yet."
Roll intimidation or persuasion.
Okay.
I agree. Just a couple of questions for you.
Do it with advantage, because he's helping you.
Oh, okay. I could use it. 13.
13. She's like early 20s. Just kind of looks you both in the eye as she's reaching for the lock. And she kind of gives this like, sorry, click, and flips the sign. Looks you both cold dead in the eye. And shrugs like it's out of her power. Like the tides. And she turns around and she walks away, and you're both just like,
Wow, this town just does not seem to have interest in doing business now, does it?
And
Well, that's a sad state of affairs.
yeah. Means I have to spend the night here until they open in the morning.
Well, I've spent nights in worse places, I will say that. I've also
You
spent
don't-
nights in better places.
You don't look like you're from around here.
Nope, I am not. And you?
Kind of motion at myself. Do you think I look like I'm from around here?
Well,
go ahead and describe yourself a little bit there, Talithar. What are you wearing?
Never
I-
seen-
Half elf tall for a human, but I'm wearing full plate armor
Stand out like a sore fucking thumb in this town.
with the shield and a fancy sword, sword that looks probably not normal. And I look like basically a knight who doesn't seem very pleased right now. But has proper etiquette, but is used to kind of also getting his way.
And Gex, when he looks at you, what does he see?
Well, he's definitely looking
quite upwards at me. He's like tall, bald, bearded, somewhat grizzled, but he's got resting happy to see you face at the same time. But definitely could be imposing if he wants to, but you can see that he's not really interested in intimidating you. We're trying to. Yeah, big dude. He's probably a little over 500 pounds, 7.5 feet tall. Yeah. So he'll kind of like just look down and smile and kind of like knock on the plate mail a little bit, and he goes, you must have connections. Must have visited a good armor or two in your day.
You could say that.
You
By the
dress
way,
quite like a friend of
Gex,
mine.
you are in quite literally borrowed clothes. You
Mhm.
don't even have leather armor right now.
Yes, but he does have the T-Rex hide.
That's true. Could use a good
And
armor to
so
put that together.
that's exactly what he's interested in. So he's like, I am here in town looking around for an armor. You haven't by chance come across one in town. I'm assuming this is not new, and that's not why you're here. But a person such as yourself.
Arrived in town. I'm looking for a ship. Passage.
Oh, and something we actually have in common. Where do you wish to head?
Like do an insight check on him. Just
Sure. Go ahead and roll insight. Gex, go ahead and roll either persuasion, deception, or intimidation, whichever one you want.
Well, he's actually not trying to hide anything.
No. So that'd be probably persuasion.
15.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he doesn't appear to be hiding anything. You gather that he could use. It's funny because some of his stuff that you glance at him and some of his gear looks well taken care of and well worn, but he's not wearing any kind of armor at all. That tracks that he's carrying a big satchel and a big bag. But other than that, he looks like a traveler, and he seems to be honest in his. It doesn't seem to be hiding all that much.
I'm heading towards the spines.
oh yes, and which islands in particular?
A couple of islands. They're on some business. I don't exactly tell them the very specific island. I just say this is the area I'm going to. What's your interest?
Well, my traveling companion and I are short some traveling companions, and I'm always interested in meeting people who are of stout character, and if you yourself are traveling in a similar direction, it could be advantageous for us to be at least temporarily companioned.
Where are you headed?
Well, we are headed back to Tazvarel,
Hmm.
at least
So
temporarily.
we're going opposite ways.
Are we? I can't remember,
Yeah.
or am I getting it backwards? We are
No,
going opposite
you're
ways.
quite right. You guys are headed back to Tazvrel, and he's coming from Tazvrel to the Spines.
Mm.
Well, you don't know about that yet, but
Right.
so meanwhile, as you're having this chat, walking back towards the inn, presumably, Elias, you're kind of getting this awkward sense for a little while of this guy who's almost forgotten you're there, but then his eyes focus on you for a moment as he kind of takes in the room, and then he looks over at you and he says, "Would you like to earn your keep?" I can pay.
That's a bit of a loaded proposal. I would need more information.
All I need you to do is watch that one. And I'll be right back. If they leave, you find out where they go. Fair?
Who is he pointing at?
He's pointing at right next to the lizard man. There's this, well, pretty nondescript half-elf. Isolde, go ahead and describe your character a little bit.
Okay, so you see a relatively short half elf who is 5 foot. I've got very short, spiky hair, just kind of wildly going everywhere. And these blazingly blue eyes. And I
A little
am
bit of puke
wearing...
on the lapel.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely that. And I'm wearing some black studded leather. And I've got a bow on one side and a sickle on kind of hanging on my hip.
You take in that's who he wants an eye on.
All right. Can I ask why? I'll do it, but a little bit of reasoning is always good.
He kind of puts his hand on the table and slides it towards you, lifts his gloved hand, and underneath you see like 4 gold. That's why.
At least I'm worth a good bounty, damn.
And
It won't be long.
oh, okay, but only if you answer my question when you come back. But I also take the 4 gold.
Nice, you pocket it. Yeah, that's your inventory. So you kind of sit there, and he's like, he stands up, turns around, kind of walks out the other way down towards the kitchen. You hear a slight like conversation kind of echoing through, like a mumble, and then it's quiet again. And then the rest of the inn is just still doing its thing for a bit. After a couple of minutes, you see a half elf, big guy wearing plate, come back inside, and a few seconds later, you see this big gray head kind of poke in. Just a quick little whoop. Way is clear. Everything looks fine. So then you see a Goliath come back in. They're just finishing up a conversation. And they come in and Gex, you kind of mentioned maybe traveling with Talithar. You can join them at their table if you want, or you can do your own thing at the bar. Where are you headed?
I think Talthar will probably he's not kind of in the mood to like be chummy with random people. He's on a mission.
Yeah.
So while he's willing to be friendly, he's also going in a different direction. He doesn't want to give up too much. So he'll be nearby at the bar.
Okay.
But he has no idea who these people are.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So you kind of give a nod, finish up your conversation, and head over to the bar. Gex, you join your party at the table, +1 apparently. You sit down. There's a fairly under-equipped human.
Greetings.
Hi.
I am
Where-
Gex. Oh, please introduce yourself.
Oh, Empty Wisdom.
Well met. My name is Gex Techford.
I
Nice to
found
meet you.
this one. They're comfortable.
Yeah.
Is is that wizard dude that I don't like here still?
No, you stuck your head like eye in the room to make sure before you went walk in, and he wasn't there anymore at that table.
Yeah. Okay.
Not to like, cut things short, but I think maybe that's a good spot to stop.
Oh.
For the night.
Coming up real quick though. So you guys are sitting there a couple of seconds, and then you hear the door thump open, and you kind of turn and look, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11 people come in the room, and they're not subtle. They have the march of almost a march of soldiers. If it wasn't for their equipment, you might think it was kind of like a local police, like a constabulary or a militia. But they are wearing bits and pieces. Some of them worse for wear. A couple of them have freaking peg legs, but their armor is more or less matching, although some miss pieces here and there. Kind of a bronze trim on the outside, blue lacquered leather armor. And they come walking in, bearing weapons, not out and up, but definitely armed and looking around the room. And as they part from the entryway, out steps this slender but imposing visage of Captain Hoodrick. And he points at Isolde and then gives a look as Gex turns around and locks eyes with him.
Well, you spotted me now.
Raggy.
All right. That one. Take them alive.
Oh, how about no?
Oh,
Flip table. Run
does he
away.
mean us?
Yep.
And with that, we're going to pause right there as you stand cornered in the inn and everyone else is watching and being like, what?
You know, this is a good segue into this week's sponsor.
Okay, we got love
It's
it.
actually a very good sense. You see, because if you suffer from unscientifically self-diagnosed OCD, and you're someone who's extremely overly organized, and this is something that bothers you, you can reach out to a newly developed service called Reverse IKEA. When things are just overly structured in your life, when things are too boxed in, you're tired of being pigeonholed in general, you just get Reverse IKEA. We will send 11 highly stimulated apes to your house who have all recently been subjected to watching many, many organizational reality shows backwards. They just tear the place up, throw everything all over the place, because if it's not just like strapped down or nailed down, you obviously don't need it. Cleanse your life on Reverse IKEA.
Reverse IKEA is not responsible for damages, injury, or personal constipation. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, thank you, Steve, for the Reverse IKEA, and thank you, players. I hope give a round of applause. Thank you for your patience. Always a bit slow bringing everybody together in a tavern, but just weaving the threads. I'm kind of glad how that
Gotta
all.
do it. It's tradition.
Exactly. I mean, you can't not do that. I mean, you have to. So yeah, one other thing is, for those who don't know, we ask you to help us name an episode. So does anybody have any ideas for the episode name? Anybody at the table? Anybody online? Happy to hear an episode title for episode 20. Give it a few seconds.
Or New Beginnings,
What was the first thing you said?
Entering Bernard, which is the town. Or
We're
I
we're
know.
entering
it
Bernard.
could be taken a different way.
Oh,
Or New Beginnings.
I
Enter-
just like
Entering New
Bernard.
Bernards. I love the mashup title. You know me.
No, I like entering Bernard.
entering Bernard. I got you know what that'll
Can
work.
mean so much.
It's layered. We're
It
complicated.
is layered.
We're like an onion wrapped in a tortilla, deep fried. All right, entering Bernard. All right. Well, thank you. And if I haven't driven all of you away, we will see you next week on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Stick around for the credits for the Creative Commons. Always give credit where credit is due. And of course, gotta say, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much, everybody. Cheers.
We put
Mine.
put
Go ahead.
all the- So yeah, the episode where we were on a ship and another ship was following, us, and we went through this kind of maelstrom.
Yeah, we were just
all the
trying to stay
gunpowder-
alive
Yeah, but we put all the gunpowder we had
into the little dinghy,
thingy, and then we let
and
it
we
out.
shoved it
I,
off.
I believe
I
that was
did
what
that.
you called a blowboat.
We shot a
I
fire arrow, and it
I
exploded,
did.
and the other ship following us blew up.
Uh-huh.
Those are the guys from the blown up ship.
Well, yeah, I know, but
Now, the other
What-
thing, and
what-
you weren't
why
there.
are they taking it so personal?
I don't understand either. Like,
that
I mean,
that ship had boarded you previously and inspected
Yeah,
you.
we were-
Uh-huh.
we were just trying to give them a friendly fireworks experience. Like,
It's not my fault that I am
It's not
not
my fault.
a
not my fault.
pyrotechnics guru. I'm young.
just, all we were trying to do was give them a friendly fireworks.
Happy Canada Day.
It's like candles on a birthday cake, It's like the thought that counts. Not my fault.
I just don't know why they're carrying a grudge.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, come on.
Get over it.
Yeah.
What's a few peg legs between friends?
Presumably there was a reason they were like chasing you in the first place, though. I don't
Yeah.
remember what that is.
Oh,
We
good
did
question.
something wrong.
Sea hag. The sea hag is stowed aboard.
But were they looking for the sea hag?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
They
were
hadn't
looking for the sea
confirmed
hag.
that, though, I don't think.
Well, they were coy about
They
it. They were
boarded,
looking
checked, didn't find her. Yeah.
because Gex
I
did
actually
it.
did watch that far.
Was it Rook or
This is
Gex
as far as I
found
have
them,
watched.
and they hid the girl?
I hit the girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Oslo hit the girl.
Yeah. But that was before you knew it was Voslo.
Yeah, Vaspora knew it was Oslo. Rook, yeah. So, like, in a weird way, Rook was hiding the girl because he was thinking it that
And
way.
ironically, that came in handy later when Rook Voslo had to go down under the water
Yes.
and use the boon. That was a cool thing.
Yes.
That was fun.
It did, yeah.
And Brandon's
the
like,
whole
what
song
the
about her."
hell are
Look at
these
Brad,
people
like, what's
talking
going
about?
on? That's what happens when you join, like, season 2, episode 1.
Yep. We'll
And-
figure it out.
I like.
Don't
that-
worry, there's like Todd left it at a cliffhanger for those of us who are back in Tazfarel for like months now.
Oh yeah,
So we're
you're
like-
waiting to see. I'm excited
Oh,
about
we
that one.
saw. We saw. We were like, friggin' like, oh, this is gonna be a crazy thing.
Yep. And if you haven't seen that, go check it in the replay. It'll be good times. Thanks for sticking with us, and thanks for jumping in to the deep end with all these crazy people. Appreciate it. All right. See you next time.